Greetings. Let's have a bubble party while we do this. Okay, let's have our bubble party. Let's have our moment. All right, greetings everybody. Happy Venus Day, by the way. Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing well. It's been a long time. My God, I feel like I have not did a reading, a collective reading in a long time. But I needed to do that. Needed that break. I just haven't felt motivated to get on, or to I haven't felt inspired to. I just really been in my own world, my own bubble. Um and yeah, everything is divinely timed. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. So I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Let me just do a quick sound check, and we can get into it. We can get into it. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick sound check, make sure that everything is good. I'm using a new microphone, so let me see. Oops, not screenshot, Ray. I don't want to screenshot. Hold on. All right. All right. Let me just double check the sounds, and then we can get it popping. Now, um, I don't see any chats popping up. Let me see if it's something with my thing. Let me see. Maybe it's just mine. Let me see. I have to say, why is it not showing I'm live? Nope, I can hear myself. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So, show some love to the chat, you guys. If you do resonate with this message, make sure that you like this video, share it with someone you feel like it may benefit, bless. Sharing is caring around here. But I am going to divine. It has been a minute. I have not did a collective reading in I don't know how long, but this is not just for everyone. This is for singles and singles that have the ear to hear. I do want to share real quick. I do have a new service on my website if you guys would like to book a voice recorded reading for singles. It's a singles read, and I would really encourage that for those of you that are on a singles journey right now and you're looking for some helpful, reflective guidance, so on and so forth. And this reading allows you to ask up to 3 questions of your own, but I'm going to, do my own spread, just do it how I do, flow. So I put the link in the description for that, the singles read. I probably should put what is it? Give me a second. I do too much sometimes. Okay, let me redo this. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in booking that reading with me, I'm going to link it in the description as well after this live stream so you can come back and watch it and reference this reading as well, or this message. I'm also going to be doing I think I'm going to do a live stream. I was going to say a podcast, but I don't know what I'm talking about. On my Patreon, if you guys are not yet a member of my Patreon, please check that out. I will be doing a live stream exclusive on Patreon and a live call-in. And we are going to discuss dating and love and singleness as a spiritual woman. Okay? We're going to talk about that. I feel like that needs to be talked about. I've been asked a few times about, doing content more for the singles journey and things like that. And, the significance and the importance of that. So let's get into this read without further ado. And I will be channeling. It's not just all about the cards. So, and this is a blackout reading, by the way. I'm sitting at my bed. I don't feel like setting up and all that shit. I'm not doing that. So, um, when it comes to like the singles journey, I feel like, and I say this all the time, just on a basic level, like human level, like whether you call yourself conscious or spiritual or not, people like really think it's a walking death sentence if you're single or if someone else is single and you're on the outside looking in like, oh my God, he or she must be so miserable because they're single. God forbid you're single, right? And it's such a ignorant perception. When I say ignorance, it's like the lack of understanding because everybody's journey is different. Some people really genuinely do enjoy being single. And you can enjoy being single and at the same time still desire a mate or still look forward to, I should say, having a mate. When you are on the more so of the conscious level of your journey, and you don't have to be the most spiritual person, but you're just consciously aware of yourself. Therefore, that does make you spiritual because you're in tune with yourself. When you're in tune with yourself, you know what you want, you know what you desire, you know what you deserve. You're not going to just settle for anything. And on the opposite side of things, when we talk about like spiritual people really can't just be out here just dating and sleeping with whoever. Really can't. And for a lot of ranges of reasons, like your spiritual purpose, like, you know, people that don't believe in purpose or believe in spiritual things or just might, you know, not be into that whole walk of life can make a mistake of marrying the wrong person, you know, or dating the wrong person or having a child with someone that maybe it might have been best not to co-create with a certain person. And there's a lot of legalities when it comes to these things spiritually, like who you have sex with, who you share a bloodline with, like all that shit is, it's deep if you care enough, you know, to discern these things for yourself and not just get with any old body. So I'm gonna do a spread here for my singles. I'm gonna ask the divine source, our angels, our ancestors who have our best intentions. Yeah, because I feel like I'm gonna speak when I do this live stream on Patreon. I'll let you guys know when I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna schedule it out and I'll post it to my community tab so you guys can, if you're not a Patreon member, you can go on over there. Um, but I'm gonna talk mainly to the spiritual women and like the challenges that we face as singles and kind of the walls that we bump ourselves into sometimes. Like we constantly keep walking through this, thinking that we're walking through, let's say like a glass door. We think we're walking through a path and it's really a glass door and we end up bumping our heads time and time again. And I'm going to talk about that in this live stream. And like I said, I'm going to do a live call-in. So you guys are free to call in and we can just like chat. You know, you guys can share your experiences. You know, we can exchange knowledge, information, opinions. Like, I'm open to it all. Alright, it's mainly for the ladies. So if you guys are not on my Patreon, y'all got to follow me over there, become a member. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys get approached. I mean, this is the thing. You have two knights here, you have a page here, and you have a king here. So I don't like to single the men out, but for some reason it just happens to just go that way. Or you could be a feminine identified male that could still resonate with this. You get approached a lot. Sometimes there's also that opposite side for people that are spiritually aware of themselves and others and their environment. They don't get approached a lot. There's that side too, that I feel people admire you a lot. You will have a lot of people that will want to step to you, but somehow because you got the Seven of Wands here blocking this knight trying to come forward. So they'll want to approach you and come towards you, but something stops them, or they feel like it's not worth the effort because they feel like they're already going to lose before they even step into the game. And hence the word game. They know of it. They can't play games with you. And some of them are bold enough. And I feel like these are ones that are spiritually just dead, that they don't have any type of guidance or compass inside of them that they're aware of, that they, they move on their ego completely. Because some of these people have enough nerve to know that though I may want to approach you, I shouldn't. And therefore they don't. Now, there's some that will pass the gateway. And it could be trauma bonding because you got two knights, or sorry, two cup cards, the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. They're looking right at each other. So it's kind of like you might meet some people in your vulnerable states where you're really wanting love. You really want companionship. You want to feel something, or you want to feel some type of emotional stimulation, whether it's like, the talking stage where you get the butterflies in your stomach and you guys are flirting, and the good morning texts and all that. You want to feel the fairy tale aspect of it. And there's people that are able to engage with you on that level, right? They're able to engage, let's say, on a kiddie pool level with you. If you are the Page of Cups, you have a pure heartedness about you, but there's that, I don't know, I'm meaning like this Pisces energy, that Neptune energy that sometimes lives in daydreams and fantasies. And the rose colored glasses with the Nine of Cups. So you have the Nine of Cups here. You could run into a lot of selfish people, selfish lovers, people that just want to feel, they don't really want to connect. There's a difference between like organic emotions that are built versus like a dopamine experience where you just want to feel a high of an emotion and get filled up when you need that drug. There's a difference between, true connections. And the Lovers card is here. I do want to emphasize this, that a lot of you do have a person. You will have someone that you will be with. It's just about the right person. For some of you, you might meet someone that is not as spiritual as you. And that does not mean that that's not an equal partnership or you're dating down. I feel like this person will make up for the things. Like, I feel like there's this balance that you need that. You don't need someone that's overtly spiritual or too much into that world. Now, I feel like someone that respects it, someone that honors that aspect, someone that does have a relationship with themselves, has a relationship with Source God, that is mindful of the world around them, people around them, that is someone that is consciously aware of their energy in themselves, already is spiritual. But what I mean by, I guess, the package of what spirituality is, someone that's like all up into astrology and this and that. Like, it doesn't have to be that. I feel like there needs to be a balance. Like, people that don't really study spiritual things or engage in spiritual arts would do well with a partner that maybe does, because it kind of, they're not stiff, stuck in a certain type of energy, overly practical, and, they need that protection as well. On both sides, physical and spiritual, I feel like you both can give that to each other. So there's a need of a healthy balance. I feel like this King of Pentacles represents that healthy balance between partners. So let's see. I'm going to pull some Oracle. Yeah, there is a breaking. There is a breaking of a certain type of direction you may have gone in love. And I believe that because you have direction, you have nature and divine timing. This feels like being present, being more in tune with what's really going on physically, because sometimes I feel like when we tap into these spiritual paths, or these spiritual doors that we walk through, like let's say like the twin flame stuff, the twin flame journeys and the soulmate journeys, or whatever we label these things. Hi Ro, how are you, sis? I'm doing okay. Happy afternoon, happy Friday, happy Venus Day. Yeah, I feel like we run into these doors and we have to. It's a part of the journey. But sometimes we can kind of lose our footing, our groundedness because we're too engulfed in the spiritual. But I feel like your direction, like your point of like how you've been walking or the direction that you've been going in love has shifted because I feel like there's a more of a grounding energy. Okay, so it could be something with like earth elements as well. That's good. I'm happy to hear that, sis. Long time no speak. Feels like I haven't been on here forever, like really doing a reads. Like other than the happy hours and the love read lives on Mondays, I haven't been on here like that. It just I just haven't felt really guided to. But as far as this energy goes, you guys understand divine timing. And divine timing is not really based off of man made time like hours, days, and weeks, months, years, and all that stuff, or minutes. It's based off of vibrational alignment with self, right? And it's not about perfection, it's just about being in the right frequency. So if I'm asking for something, you're not going to go into a restaurant and order something you can't afford. Hopefully not. So, like, let's say that currency is your vibrational frequency. You go into a restaurant, and that is, let's say, the thing that you're ordering at the restaurant is your desire. Okay. Say that that plate of food is your desire and all the different components. Like, I want to order a combination plate of, I'm going to talk about soul food because I love soul food. Okay. Let's say I'm going to name all my favorite soul food dishes real quick. Just run it down real quick, including down to the desserts. Let's do that. Okay, let's say I want, let's say like roast. I want a roast. I want mac and cheese. I want collard greens. I want some yams, okay? And some cornbread. And then for dessert, I want some banana pudding, right? I'm asking spirit for this plate and all these different components. So let's say, for instance, that's like a partnership that you want. The plate itself is like the basis of it, and all the extra size and all of that is the type of mate that you want, right? You're not going to go to the restaurant and order something you're not going to be able to afford. You're just not going to do it, or at least have the money on hand to buy it, to purchase, place your order. So this kind of like a metaphor for your vibrational frequency. If I'm asking for something, I have to be in the vibration in order to receive it when it's supposed to. The timing, like when it's going to be ready, because I don't want my plate coming out too early or too late. I don't want my shit burnt, nor do I want it undercooked. I want it just right. So you're willing to be patient for that, right? You don't want to have something before it's ready. You'll send it right back. You'll be like, oh, this ain't it. And sometimes we'll do that. We'll be like, no, I just want my food now. Tell the waiter to hurry up. Tell the cook, the chef, whoever. Because I want to see the manager. Like, the manager, let's say, is your ancestors. You like, let me talk to my managers, because, like, the manager of this restaurant. What's going on? What's the holdup? Like, you start getting anxious. You start getting mad. And your spiritual team's like, it'll be out in a minute. Just be patient. And you're like, no, I want it now. Right? So let's say they hand you your shit. They give you your plate and it is undercooked, and get it and you eat it. It's like, okay, I asked for this, but it's not really what I want. It's not on point because it's not time. It's not ready. And we go into those, like I said, that glass door. We think it's a door open and we walk through and it's actually a glass door, screen door that we bump our heads on sometimes. When we go ahead of divine alignment, divine timing and order, and sometimes we're not ready, but we can place an order for something, but we got to make sure that we can afford it, make sure that we're in the place to receive it and that it's really genuinely ready. You don't want something before it's time, right? You want something that is in a vibrational alignment with you. Do you have the energy to give to what you're asking for? That's another thing too. Like, we ask for things, but are we genuinely in a place to maintain it? I always say this prayer. I'm out, like, when I ask God, I said, give me the eyes to discern a blessing or an opportunity that is divinely gifted from you, because all blessings are not from God's source. They're not. Some blessings can come from dark places as well. You know, it looks like everything that you want, but there's always a catch, right? But with God's source, there is no catch to our blessings. So I always ask God to give me the wisdom to discern a blessing from them, and the confidence, the confidence to accept and embrace it, not, self-sabotage or get in my way, but give me the confidence to embrace it and walk through the opportunities and gifts and see it. So the discernment, the courage and the strength, the confidence, but also the discipline and the stewardship. Like, give me the discipline and the wisdom and the stewardship to maintain this blessing, and know when to discern when it's time to move on from something, or when the doors have closed. And when it comes to a long lasting relationship, obviously you want to learn, you want the wisdom and the discipline and the stewardship for that relationship, to maintain it, to help it grow. You don't just want something just to want it. Like, if you're not ready within yourself, and readiness is not about perfection, but it's like any job you apply for, they're going to train you, right? They'll hire you because of your previous skills. So it's like Spirit is like, okay, you've been through relationships before, or you have enough experience and to a certain degree where, when you get into a relationship, you're going to learn. You're training. You're learning about each other. You're learning about the different aspects of your person and yourself. Like, you've never been with this person before, so you don't know how things are going to turn out exactly. You know what I mean? So it's not about perfection. You're still going to learn. You're still going to evolve and grow. And some people don't want that. And I feel like what some of you may run into is partners that are sometimes intrigues, um, that, it's the right word, are enamored by you, even some that aren't really fully prepared to do what it takes to be in a relationship. They kind of want things to kind of go in a certain way where there's no effort required. So when you get to know a person for a little bit, because this is what I notice happens to a lot of, I'm gonna call you like spiritually aware people, because I don't want to just call you spiritual people, but like, you're in tune with yourself. You're in tune with yourself. You know what you want, or to a degree, you know what you don't want, what you're not going to settle for. And sometimes it's trial and error. But what happens is you'll engage with the person. Maybe you might even date for a little bit, or it could be you go on these dates and then everything goes good for the first few dates, if that. There's nothing wrong. Like, everything is just flowing. It's cool. Y'all enjoying each other's company. And then the next thing you know, this person starts to fall back a little bit, starts to act a little funny a little bit, right? Sometimes people like just need to experience something, or they want to experience what's challenging or what's new to them, but to actually engage and really participate and show up, they don't have the capacity, and you cannot take that personal. They may have had the bestest of intentions, like, I want to see where this leads. I want to, get to know this person. And when they do get a glimpse of that, they may realize that, okay, I really don't think I can maintain this. I don't, sometimes too, people are attracted to confident people. Confidence is not like the most loudest person in the room, the most flashiest, but someone that you can just tell that by the way that they carry themselves, that they're confident in who they are. They believe in themselves, or they know who they are. People are very attracted to that, just at the same time as they are intimidated or maybe even jealous of it. People will gravitate towards spiritual people, or people that are, I should say, spiritually in tune and aware of themselves and others. Someone that is healing, someone that is whole more so than they are broken, will attract broken people. It's an intrigue. It's just like a opposites attract type of thing. It just is what it is, right? There are a few things that will happen with this, and I don't want to give away too much because I want to talk about this on my Patreon live stream. But you'll attract those that either, in spite of they're triggered by you, because they will be triggered by you. That what you are is you're going to hold a mirror up to a person where they feel like they're not good enough or where they feel like they lack. You're going to trigger them. They can either choose to run completely, run far, far away from you because they can't take it, they're not ready, or, or there's more. They'll rise to the occasion and say, I'm going to be open to this connection. I'm going to face my fears and my challenges. And then you'll have those that will be jealous of you and seek to possess you, control you, tear you down, because that makes them feel better about themselves. Rather than just running the fuck away, they want to challenge it. They want to feed the ego. And those are more so like the narcissistic types that you'll run into contact with. And then there are those that simply don't understand you and they're trying to make sense of you, so they'll try to place you in a box that makes sense to them. And that's where you have those incompatibility issues. Those are not the matches for you. And I feel like that's kind of what you run into sometimes. You run into the runners. You'll run into those that sometimes may be like, yeah, let's see where it goes. You'll run into those that will be narcissistic and seek to tear you down because it feeds their ego, to feed off of you, to harvest off of your energy, off of making you question and doubt yourself. Then you'll have the other ones that simply just try to put you into a box. Like, why don't you do this? Why don't you dress like this? And why do you look like, and it just doesn't match. And that's not going to work. So it's not a thing of, oh, my love life is shit. Because if you look at the dating pool for both men and women, gay, straight, whatever, far in between, it's kind of shitty out here in these streets. Like, you really have to place yourself, because sometimes I'm gonna say this, like, and this could be far beyond our comprehensions. It could be really a spiritual thing where we can place ourselves in environments with people that we feel like will resonate, whether that's based off of education, whether that's based off of income and status, or whether that's based off of like hobbies and interests, or different races or different age groups. Like, oh, let me switch it up. Maybe, okay, it's not working over here with the black man, so let me go get me a white man or a white woman or whatever, Asian. Let me go across the country and like get my passport, passport bros. Or let me go get me a woman because it ain't working out with the men. Or I might be gay. Let me go get me a man because it ain't working with the women. Like, and you're still having the same problems. Because it's not really so much. I will say this. As a collective, we have a lot of healing to do. There's a lot of gender wars, and I feel like that's a whole energy within itself. That's a whole energy within itself, and I feel like people are there's a group of people, it's almost like a 50-50 split almost, or maybe not so 50-50, but there's like a group of people that are very interested and pulled and called to do their inner work and have been doing their inner work. And then you have those people that completely just don't want to do the work. They are in madness. They are stuck in timelines. They're stuck in they don't want to take accountability for their journey. They don't want to do the work. They want to blame everybody else. People, some of them are complete mad, insane, mentally ill, spiritually broken. And I do believe that some people are not even, like, their human vessel is harvested by some dark shit that they can't heal. They won't do it. It's like they're just not there. And then you have those that are on the cusp of it, where they know that there's something that they need to do, but they don't have the will to do it as of right now. And so you see all these clashings. Like, that's why you see so many topics around dating and relationships and how shitty it is, and like these think pieces and these psychology. Oh, and studies say that men under 25 are never gonna date and they rather be single and they rather watch porn and all shit. Like all this shit that just makes you just like, well, damn, we just fucked, right? The divorce rates and all this, who's the less desirable of women and men, and you can't get a date unless you look like this, like all this tomfoolery shit. And that's not really what it is, because if you really look at it, it doesn't matter what you look like. You can change your hair, you can change your body, you can get muscles, you can get that car, you can whatever. Still gonna run into the same problem. So all that shit that you gotta be this and you gotta be that, that's not real. Or at least it might attract people to you, but it's not going to attract a valuable partner. If we're just looking at the surface level of things, we're not going to have successful relationships. There's a lot of broken men and a lot of broken women. And unfortunately, it's like a rage between, because I feel like people use singleness as like I said in the beginning of this video, like as a death sentence. It's not. Or, oh, you're just going to be a cat lady forever. How do you know somebody ain't okay with being a cat lady? How do you know that? Because I'm telling you, like, looking at some relationships out here, it makes me just say, like, I'm cool. I'm good being single. I can sleep well at night. I'm good. And I came to this place where I said to Spirit, like, hypothetically, if it was meant for me not to ever be in another relationship or ever have a life partner in this lifetime, that I would be happy regardless, that I would enjoy my life. Why not? Like, I was one person when I came into this world. So why wouldn't I be happy as a whole one person on my own? Like, yes, we have community, we have people around us. And I feel too, like, this is another thing. I feel like people have to understand this and be okay with it. That not everything is about you. Meaning, if something doesn't work out, it's not always because something wrong with you or something you didn't do right. It could be something within a person that is just not ready. And in that case, you don't want something that's not for you. Is it discouraging to keep running into relationships and bumping your head and thinking that this is going to be it possibly, or this is going to work out and it doesn't? Yeah. That is very painful. Yeah. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It can cause anger. Yes, I understand. But I feel like when you slow down and you're not pressed, you're not strategic about everything, you can be present with your life and life will flow and put you to where you need to be. Because again, like, do you want to force yourself into a union or a situation before it's time, before you're ready, or before someone else is ready? And in some cases, you do have those unique stories where everyone's love life is not going to be the same story. Everyone's love story is going to be unique and different. That you may meet the love of your life in that person, or you may not be ready in the beginning. But the key to all of this is you have to live your life regardless. If you stop your life, if you obsess, if you press on, it has to be this way, or it has to be this person, it has to be at this time, why isn't it happening like this, and why you're going to torture yourself. And that's the problem sometimes with us being too conscious, too aware of shit, because we want to know too much. The days where we would go back when we didn't know, or we weren't so spiritually aware, that we would just live our lives, right? And things would just flow. So it's I don't want to say it's a curse, but it feels like a gift and a curse to be in tune, to be aware of spirit and yourself and, you know, your intuition, or to have access to people that can see for you. To know things. It helps you to navigate, help you to discern, help you to protect yourself, help you to move towards the things that you're supposed to. Like, it's good to have that. But then knowing too much or wanting to know too much is also a dangerous thing. And it can cripple you. Knowing too much can definitely cripple you. You're not living when you're too much in the past and you're too much ahead of the future. You're not in the present, therefore you're not really living. You're kind of like in a standstill, and that's not what spirit wants you to be. You might feel like the odds are stacked up against you, but they're really not. Because spirit is saying, like, for real, you can have whatever you want. Like, if you wanted somebody today, you could have someone. If you wanted to get married today, you could, or find somebody that wants to get married. But under what circumstances or what cost? Yeah, some of you guys are supposed to be creating. You guys are receiving like a lot of creative ideas or downloads. And you don't have to be like quote unquote a creative or an artistic person, but there's some type of creative energy around you when it comes to your life, and something about your transformation that you're not aware of right now. Like spirit, your energy, just your God source energy inside of you, you are connected to source God, and there's something about being able to create for yourself that you're not seeing. Higher conscious awareness. Yeah, it's only like when you can only do this, like this higher consciousness of awareness. It has to start within self first. It's you are the spark. No one else is going to be able to just come in a way, because I don't want to give this away again because I want to save this for my Patreon exclusive. But the journey with yourself, like the single journey, really is a spiritual journey. And people demonize that part of their journey so much because they don't understand the beauty of it, I feel like. Because society makes you feel like, especially as a woman, if you don't have a mate, if you're not married, or you don't have someone claiming you, that you're not worthy, you're not really a woman, or you're just not good enough, there's something wrong with you. It's got to be something wrong. This person can't be genuinely content with themselves. They cannot genuinely be that like happy. They don't have a man. It's crazy. Or they're not in a relationship. They don't have kids, or whatever the case may be. They don't have a ring. No. That is not always the case. Your single journey is beautiful because you're discovering yourself on a level that you wouldn't be able to, being so engulfed and caught up in everybody else's world. You get to define yourself, who you are. Your time spent with yourself is very precious. That time spent with you and God's source is very special and significant. So if you imagine this, because there's some people that didn't even get a chance to live life before they got into a relationship. They just rushed into some shit. They didn't get a chance to figure out who they really were and discover life. And I don't mean like, oh, I get to, sow my wild oats and sleep with this one and sleep with that one to know who you are. That's part of it, but it can also be an excessive thing where we think, or men are taught this more so than women though, but like where you have to experience a multiple set of sexual partners. That's not a part of knowing who you are, really. That's, to an extent it can be, but like I said, that can be an excessive thing to where it's a distraction, and to where it's one of those egotistical type of aspects of your personality or traits which you take on, that this is a part of who you are. Like, I'm the man because I didn't fuck this many women, or I slept with these many men, and this, no, it has nothing to do with it. Your life experience in general as a whole. It's like if you get into a union before you got to do the things that you wanted to do, or you get so stuck. Like spirit doesn't, this is another thing too. Like if you're a person of purpose, or you have ambitions, you have goals, you have callings in your life, whether that's in corporate, whether that's in spiritual fields, whether that's medical fields, whatever your purpose and calling is, if you're so attached to another person, your whole world evolves around another person, you're not going to be able to walk fully in your purpose because you're distracted. If you're dealing with the issues of self-identity, you're dealing with issues of self-acceptance, you'll seek out partners that either they're going to, most likely, when you deal with certain traumas, like, you will be attracted to a person that's going to hold a mirror up to you, and most likely it's going to be a challenging, painful experience, because if you're walking in this energy of, I need to be accepted, I need to be seen, I need to be noticed, I just want to be loved, because maybe you have abandonment issues or things like that, you're going to run into partners that are going to treat you like shit. They're going to abandon you. They're not going to show up for you. They're going to um, constantly let you down. And that's a part to help you heal that wound, so that you are not going to be dependent on a person in such a way ever again. That you're not going to look for validation outside of yourself, outside of, family, friends, or a lover. You're not going to do that so much anymore. You stop. It starts to become very painful to whether you do one or two things. You'll fall into that victim mode. Woe is me. Nobody loves me. I'm not good enough. Or you'll just do some very vile things to get attention, or sell yourself really short and deal with someone, and to where the point where you get on your knees begging a man to love you or to stay, or a woman. And that's the lowest point that you can get to. But the beautiful part of that is if this person or people don't accept you, or they walk away, or they leave you, that it leaves you with yourself, to where it gives you the opportunity and the choice to choose yourself. Or you're just going to repeat the cycle again. Some people do die from, or suffer in the end, with the wrong partner, the wrong mate, because they made that person their everything and made them their world, and that person made space for them not at all. You want someone that is, when you accept yourself, you're going to run into people that, like I said, you're going to run into those groups that don't know how to take you. They'll run off. That's not your person. Those that will challenge the idea of you and be like, oh, I want to control you, I want to manipulate you, I want to tear you down. Those aren't your people. Or the people that don't understand you, so they're going to try to put you into a box and make you make sense to them. It's not your people. But it's only when you come into the contact with a person that knows who they are, they're comfortable in who they are, and that they embrace you and love you and accept you as you are, because you accept yourself. There's your people. Not just romantically, friendships, all of that. Beautiful. That's awesome. Don't ever compromise yourself to fit into a mold. You're going to be miserable when you try to attract yourself. Like, if somebody is not for you and they don't like you, they don't love you, the hell with them. They're not your people. Does it hurt? Yes, because you might care about them. But I also challenge this. Do you really love them, or are you attached to an idea of them, or who you want them to be, or what you hope them to be? Or are you placing the vision that you have of the partner that is for you onto a person that it's not meant? It's like 3D glasses. Like, you're at a movie and it's just like a basic filming, it's just, it has that standard theatrical film, whatever. And then you put on the 3D glasses and everything seems to amplify, seems to be more lively. That's the rose colored glasses that we put on sometimes with people. It's like, this, I see this here, but it would be way more better if I could just tweak this and make this a little more like, mm-mm. No. And hence 3D. That's 3D level shit. That's surface level. You can't make someone or something into what you want them to be. If it's not in alignment, you can't force that shit. If it's deeper, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than the 3D. You're going to see that person beyond the shell that they are. You're going to see them behind the shell that they are. You have to allow somebody to see you past the shell that you are. And it doesn't work by you hiding behind, and there's nothing wrong, because I love a good face beat, hiding behind makeup or nice body, or, men, your muscles, your cars, your money. That stuff is superficial. It fades. Sometimes we connect off of that too. Like, oh my God, this guy, he makes this amount of money and it's just what I'm looking for, and he drives this, and oh my God, he got tattoos, and oh my God, or she's so bad, she got a nice body. And it's like, what else though? What can you do with that later on? Yeah, maybe it might be, some cute babies maybe in the mix. Maybe, you might get a doctor out of that baby. You might get an athlete out of that baby. Something, brain surgeon. That's cute. Beyond the mating, the surface level shit. What are you really building and creating? Is it going to be a happy home? What are your parenting? What's your parenting like views on parenting? How do you want to raise your household, your family? How do you see union and marriage? Your role as a mate. What does that look like to you? You got to ask these questions because this is some long-term shit, and then you bring in little people into the world. You don't want to repeat the same traumas that you went through onto another person. You don't want to get yourself into a union because people take the constitution of marriage so lightly. The Western society view of it, of these documentations and the rings and the ceremonies, the dresses and the fly after parties, or what do you call it? The reception and all that shit. But they don't look at the spiritual contract, the verbal contract that you're putting yourself in. Cause you got this like worldly shit. We got these constant like these laws that say okay you can get a divorce, you can get it annulled and all that shit. But you consummated yourselves spiritually and verbally through your contract. So it's not something to just take lightly because what people don't understand, soul ties is a real thing. So you can't just be signing and verbalizing a vow out of your mouth if you don't mean it. If it's not really in your heart, if this is not really the ordained person for you. And some people, maybe that is the journey that they have to take to learn what a true marriage is. Maybe they had to go through that failed marriage first in order to find that truth. Yeah. Mm-mm. Slow down. It's okay. Society will make you feel like shit if you let them. If you don't know your journey, you don't know why you're where you are, because you have to have a spiritual relationship with yourself and source God within it to know why you're here where you are. If it's a frustrating point where you say, why do I keep attracting these same types of people? Search within yourself. What is it that maybe you like about that? Is it a certain archetype that you're interested in, and why? And just be completely honest with yourself. The more honest you are with yourself, the better the healing, I promise you. The better the breakthrough. The better the clarity and revelation that you're going to get. The more honest you are with yourself. And yes, it might hurt a little bit to be honest. Like, okay, I'm a horn dog. Like, I just like big booties or something. That's why I keep attracting these women, because I just like big asses or something. Just be honest with yourself. Do you really want the love of your life, or are you wanting the biggest booty of your life? Because that's what it sounds like sometimes with people. And women say thing. Are you wanting the man with the money because you want to be well taken care of? And most likely, yes, because that is a part of a male and female dynamic, is the man provides, right? But it could be other layers to it. Oh, I just want to show off in front of my girlfriends, and I want to be able to do this. I want to stunt on people. Like, people got to be honest with themselves, okay? Or are you just desperate and you just want love? And in that case, if you're desperate, do you really want real love, or do you want something that feels like it, that keeps you in this drug? And why do you want to be dopamined up off of love? What are you running from? What is it within yourself that you aren't loving, that you feel like you need something to make you feel something? Why do you need to have sex excessively? What are you trying to escape from? Where are you lacking passion in your life that you feel like you need that form of passion or connectivity? So I'm going to call this live stream, not this one, but the Patreon one, I'm going to have a call in. I'm going to try to do it this weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I got to see what's going on that day and all of that. But I'm going to call it mindless dating. And I'm going to break down the difference of what is really a spiritual person, because I feel like we have that misconstrued as well. Or a healed man or woman. What does that really mean? And it's not so much like a badge of honor that makes you better than people. It's just a difference of your level of consciousness, like with yourself. To heal, or to seek healing, to aspire to heal, to actively work on yourself is a part of self-love. It is. Because it takes you saying yes to yourself. Yes, I'm going to heal. Yes, I'm going to, because I want to live a better life. I want to be happy. I want to be at peace. And to be at peace does not mean that the world is going to be at peace. It's not. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being within yourself. How can you maintain that in a world of chaos? That is your choice as well. And it's not saying to be oblivious to the world around you, because you're going to be human. You're going to have your days where you feel like shit, or your moments where you're going to be angry, your moments where maybe you're going to do some things that maybe you look back and be like, oh, that was fucked up. But it's up to you. It's your job to maintain a level of peace in chaos and choose happiness, because this life is always going to have its challenges. That it's not the point of, oh, all of a sudden it's rainbows and sunshine, like the Wizard of Oz. It was gloomy and dark in one scene, and I step out this door and all of a sudden it's full color. Like, no, that's your perception of the world. When you step out of the dark place and you walk into more of a colorful place, because that's your own perception. It's not so much that's the world is just, because the world has its beauty and it has its darkness as well. Yeah. It's okay to feel sorry for yourself. It's okay to get mad and get sad, but really, I want you to find the beauty in being single. Like, there's really, honestly, again, like I said, it's a spiritual journey. You're in it for a reason. You need to find some level of peace and positivity in it, because it is there. This is not a punishment. If that's the case, then you should have never been born into this world, right? Because you came here by yourself, and what? You're going to leave here by yourself. So if that's the case, then just be by all dams. You know what I mean? Like, to have fellowship and community is a part of the fabric of Source God. We all come from Source. It's like, or this one infinite thing. We're all a piece of that, right? So community, that's why we desire it. But again, we're one whole piece of a, well, or a whole entity of a person. If anything, if you desire a relationship as much, you should desire one with Source God, because that's the fabric of which you were separated from, if you want to call it that, but not really separated. You're just a manifestation of this one whole piece of a Source God. That is all, that is everything. So if that's what you like, if you're going to ache for love in a partnership and a union, that's the one that you should ache for and yearn for the most, is one with your creator, Source God. Because that's you. That's who you, that's where you come from. Others, they are an extension of that. A beautiful extension of that, yes. Why not find someone that is in tune with the fabric of your being, rather than someone that is like far out of it, just like a whole nother piece of, fabric that does not resonate with you, that's gonna cause you to itch. You know what I mean? Like, I hope I be making sense, because sometimes I feel like I sound crazy, but it's all about persevering. And persevering is not like, oh, I'm not going to give up on love. I'm going to keep dating. I'm going to keep dating, because some of y'all doing that. That's not the problem. It's not, I need to go out on more dates. I need to get on another dating site. That's not your problem. The real problem is that Spirit may want you to be with yourself for right now for a good reason. You might meet some dope people in between, but the attachment part is what Spirit is trying to separate you from, because you have the devil and the 8 of Cups. So you have to learn how to separate the attachment, because some of you view love as a form of an attachment and rather than a connection. I want you guys to look up the definition of connection and attachment, and y'all tell me, because there's a distinctive difference between connecting and an attachment. Attachment feels very heavy. It feels very parasitic. Whereas connecting is like a joining. It just comes together. You know what I mean? Like, and it can separate. That's the thing. It can separate organically. It can come together. And it can also separate in a way that it's like two pieces that come together. But when it's an attachment, it's almost like this, like, again, like a parasitic type of energy. Yeah, like the word attachment to me feels icky as I'm saying it for some reason. I don't know why, but it just does. Like, look up anxious attachments and those other type of attachments. Like, look at those up versus what a true connection is. Like, because it can feel like, because what I'm getting, because technically attachment and connect kind of has a similar definition, but like the energy, the essence of it, it's, I don't know. When I hear the word attach, it's like I'm latching, like I'm trying, like I'm holding on to, whereas connecting is kind of like it links, it just kind of just goes click together, and they can be separated at any time. Like, because let's put it like this, let's say like Lego blocks can be connected, but they can be detached as well, and they can build other things. That's kind of free flowing, more, more of a lighter base of an energy versus like glue. If I glue this sticker onto this piece of paper, the livelihood of it coming off is going to be really, really hard. And then some of you might say, well, don't you want a relationship that's unbreakable where it doesn't separate? Yes and no, to an extent. And this is just my opinion. I wouldn't want a connection. Yes, I want an unbreakable bond, but not to an extent of like, no matter how toxic and how fucked up you are towards me, or how fucked up and toxic I am towards you, you'll never leave and you should never leave. No. Because some people find that to be true. They find that to be okay. That abuse is love, or manipulative, like abusive energy or behavior is love. No. I'll never leave you no matter what. You can stomp me, spit on me, do whatever, cheat on me multiple times, and I'll never leave you. Like, that's not real love. It's not. If you're being devalued by a person, and that should be easy. Like, kids know when they're being treated wrong. So an adult, you're gonna have to come up a little bit higher within your little mindsets, because if you can't discern when a person doesn't value you, you got some big problems. That means you do not value yourself enough, child. You know, a person that constantly hurts you does not love you. There's no way in God's green earth that they do. They don't have the capacity to. Let's start there, because we'll personalize that and make it be like, oh, well, they just don't love me. No, sometimes like fucked up people, they don't have the capacity to love people because they don't love themselves. That's what you gotta learn. That's the trauma bond. Y'all both bonding. You think it's love because you're putting up with the shit, and they think it's love because you're putting up with it. You're dealing with it. And you both are sitting here, you don't love yourselves. That's trauma bonds. All day, every day. It's a trauma bond, or form of one, at least. That's just an aspect of it. People that cannot be alone do not like themselves. I wholeheartedly believe that. I firmly believe that. You don't like yourself too much. You cannot be by yourself for 10 seconds. You got to be in a relationship by tomorrow or the next month, or you constantly got to be doped up with sex and different partners, and you do not like yourself like that. You don't. You have to project your individual experience onto another individual because you just don't like yourself like that. Rather than allowing love to be an organic connection and flow as it may, you have to have somebody all the time. You don't like yourself too much. So stop allowing people to shame you when it comes to that. If you know that you're doing something actively to maybe push love away, then, check yourself. But if you know deep down inside of yourself, there's nothing that you could be doing wrong. You're doing all these things like, people, this is the first base of everything. I'm a good looking person. Why am I single? That's everybody's first go-to. Fuck all that. Like, a beautiful person, handsome person can still get cheated on and played. Attraction, yes, that's important. Cool. Then the next thing people say, well, I'm on dating sites, I go out on dates, I do this or I do that, I make myself available. What's going on? Why isn't this happening? If you're doing everything quote unquote right that society says you should be doing, or you have the look, and even if you think you don't have the look, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, but you are a good person, go out on dates, you might even have people trying to holler at you, but something just isn't sticking, why does it have to be something wrong with you? Why can't it just be, it's not my time? It's not meant. It's not time. Therefore, what is it the time for? Like, what is it? Where is my time meant to be placed? What things do I want to experience? What things do I want to enjoy? What am I not enjoying? What do I like? If I could do anything right now, today, or a goal or a plan that I want to execute, what would it be that does not involve another person, another man or another woman, or getting married? Outside of that, outside of another person, or let's say a romantic person, because it could be, I want, to have more time with my family or friends, or I want to build new friendships, or I want to, you know, do something with my time and meet new people, or I want to travel, or I want to start a business, or I want to just do something that I enjoy and that I love. And it doesn't always got to be that your time has to be occupied with activities. Sometimes it's like, can you just chill at home and, like, I don't know, read a book, journal, do something that you enjoy for yourself. Paint, draw, sew, or just fucking be. Just sit. Do nothing. I don't know, put on some, I don't know why I heard Seinfeld. I don't like that show. That show was kind of corny to me, but leave it up to some of y'all. That's a classic show. I don't like this. I don't know. But Seinfeld came to me, so maybe somebody likes that show. Just like sit with a marathon of Seinfeld and sip some wine, or shit, make yourself some ice cream or something. I don't know, but just like, can you be? And that's a challenge sometimes. Boring, like, it's so funny because, like, I love peace and, like, to be a homebody sometimes, but, like, life, when there's not a lot of things going on, you could feel like life is not lifing because you're not overly stimulated by a busy schedule, or people blowing your phone up, or maybe, I don't know, just all these activities. You just feel like life is boring. Like, what's going on? Like, ain't nobody in my DMs, ain't nobody blowing my phone up. And we take that and we look at it as something is wrong, rather than, like, no, your life is just at peace. Your life is steady. It's steady. It's not like this roller coaster where you can't catch your breath. Like, and I feel like sometimes, because I'll speak for myself, when I don't have a lot going on, I do kind of beat myself up and be like, something's wrong. Like, I'm not doing enough. I gotta be doing something, or something. I gotta be wanted or needed by people to feel valued, and that's not what it's not what it means. What about yourself? What if you need you? That is enough to feel valuable. Like, you need you sometimes. Like, and my sister Tori says this, it sticks to me because I heard it with them, like, before she said it, because I talked to her on the phone the other day, and before she said it out of her mouth, I kept hearing it that morning. Like, I don't want to be everything to everybody but myself. Like, I don't want to be everything to everyone, a mom, a this, or that. Uh, do this, Chenoa, or I need you over here, Chenoa. I need this, I need that, or I want to be something to myself too. And it doesn't have to be titles or labels that we place on ourselves. Just be of importance to yourself. And what does that look like? Very small things. To get up and get dressed in the morning, take care of myself, make sure I eat, make sure I pray, make sure I meditate, make sure I'm doing things that I enjoy, make sure that I'm good. Like, if I'm feeling some type of way, like, check in with myself. You know, owe it to myself to be happy, to be present, to do things that I enjoy. That is being something to yourself, and it does not have to be every man and every woman of the world to be someone important. Because when you come into the time when it is right for the right person to come into your life, intercede into your life, and you into theirs, you're not going to feel like you've compromised part of yourself. And you'll know that it's the wrong partner when you feel those feelings of compromisation, or you don't sweat it too much anymore when it doesn't work out with certain people, because you know, like, this one woman, like, I love her pieces on Instagram, and I think she has a podcast on YouTube too. But she made a good point. She said when she was in her single season that she stopped dating multiple men because she felt like it was kind of a distraction, and like kind of making the men compete in her mind, like have like the men had to compete for each other. And instead of doing that, she was like, I'd rather a man compete with my peace. So like if I find a man valuable enough to not disrupt your like peace in a negative way, but just like to allow you into my fold of peace, then that speaks volumes. But if you don't know what that safe space for you looks like, or that peace for yourself, that space of peace that you've created for yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically in your environment, in your life, you'll just allow anything or anybody to run amok. You're giving everybody the gate code to your heart, to your mind, to your body, to your house, your physical home, house, your body, all of that. Giving them the access code where they don't deserve it. You have to have some exclusivity to your energy, and not just for the ballers and the shot callers or the baddies. And no, energetically, have some exclusivity to your energy, where you have to be someone that also has a space of energy of peace within yourself. I don't give a fuck about how much money you make, how fine you are, what kind of car you drive, all that extra external shit. Whatever. Cool. What you got going on the inside? Because if it's chaotic and it's fucked up and it's ghetto, I don't want nothing to do with it. And if you're trying to be a homosexual and like eat off of my energy, my spiritual residence, oh no, motherfucker, you ain't doing that. You don't know how to maintain your own energy and your own peace, your own joy, your own happiness. We cannot be together. And that is hard when you are someone that is empathic, when you are someone that nurtures, when you are someone that loves to fix people. You like, most likely attract vagabonds spiritually, and they cannot facilitate their own energy at times, or certain levels of energy, and they need you to do it. And that's why you feel depleted, because you're not meeting your equally vibrational matches, or compatible matches, complementary vibrational matches. All right. I feel like I done said too much, child. Damn. You know who I feel like is like an odd couple, but like in the tarot at least, but they work. I feel like the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. It's like they both nurture, they both water, or the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. They would be a suitable couple because they pour into each other. It's water and earth. It fertilizes. It helps grow. I feel like they would make the best couple out of the court cards. Like, they may not be the same ones, because sometimes like too much of the same don't work. But like those complementary connections, those complementary vibrations show you that you truly are someone that's open and willing to connect with something outside of your comfort zone. If you were to just meet another you, that's easy, and not so easy sometimes because it can clash. But to connect with someone that is opposite of you but can complement you, I feel like would make the best relationship, because it challenges you in growth, but it also helps you both compromise and embrace each other's differences and come together and work together. I think that's beautiful. So Not always. Like when I see a pairing, does it always have to be like a good thing? Like, oh, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Like, yeah, it you know, that too much of that fire together, child. I don't know. Two earth signs together, child. Like, it just depends, I guess. But y'all are releasing the past. That is what you're doing. You're releasing the past. And I feel like you are, it's like you're coming back to a place of yourself. You're coming home. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Like, you got to go through a crazy ass journey just to realize that home was always there. Like, you had the way to get there. So I don't know. Like, I would look into, if you have fourth house placements, look into that. Your fourth house, or if you have Cancer, what placement of Cancer is in your chart, and that can give you a little bit more help of where your healing lies too. I don't think there's anything else, but like I said, y'all, I do have a singles reading, a love reading for singles, if you want to book that with me, and I would be glad to help you. I also do coaching sessions, because coaching sessions kind of similar to this, but more of a dialogue between us. It's not just me talking. It's a dialogue. You know, let me know what you got going on, where you feel like you need help, you know. But yeah, so the reading, I linked it in the chat, but if you're watching this after the live, it will be in the description. So it's just an energetic and a tarot and oracle read. So I will use um, the cards, but it will be much like, a healing. It's like us talking and just vibing. Um, but yeah, it's just gonna help you in regards to your current chapter in your single season, like some of your desires, maybe some patterns, the challenges that you may be facing. What are your goals? Where's your focus? Like, kind of help you. And then you get to ask 3 personal questions of your own in regards to your single season. So if you're interested in that reading, I would be more than happy to help y'all out. And like I said, I will let you guys know when I do the Patreon, but you have to be a Patreon member in order to join that live stream, because we're going to have a live call in, but I will let you guys know here on YouTube when I'm doing that. So if you, in case you're not a Patreon member, you can catch up and you won't miss it. Because I don't know if I'm going to put it on YouTube publicly. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm not 100% sure. And Patreon is just more of a sacred space. It's more of a off of YouTube, like, because I feel like if you genuinely find value in something, you'll become a member. You'll invest in where you find value. Like YouTube, anybody can click on a video and watch it and sit with it, spectate, do all that shit. But if you really value something, you'll like, yeah, I'm going to invest over here. So if you want to become a Patreon member of mine, it is patreon.com/the Walu Child. Walu is spelled WALU, and child, the Walu Child. And it will take you to all of my exclusive content. Okay. So I will catch you guys over there soon. I'll let you guys know. But if this message and reading resonated with you, it was helpful, insightful, maybe even might bless someone else, go ahead and share that and like this video. I would greatly appreciate the love. We're just paying the energy back forward, and I would greatly appreciate that. So y'all take care. Happy Venus Day. Happy Friday. Happy Love Day, or whenever you're watching this. Y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all be safe, be blessed, and we'll catch up in the next one. Until then, peace.